So we last year decided that we were going to roll out a new service desk platform to replace Manage Engine. And the platform that we decided to go with was LANDesk Service Desk. So we're getting close to the go live. We're going to go live with LANDesk on the 30th. So we're starting some user acceptance testing today to get some feedback from some end users in the environment. I grabbed a few people from different offices and different roles in the company, and then our a team on IT who will kind of be operating it from the analyst side. So the new end user ticketing portal, it's really simple to get to. If you open up any web browser, I'm using Chrome just because I prefer it, but it works in Internet Explorer as well. You can just go to itsupport.nepc.com, and this link will be published on the internet, just in the same place that our current link to the service desk is published. During UAT, during the testing, because we want to be able to log in as you guys and kind of like see what you're looking at and address any issues, we do have just like explicit sign-on enabled. So when you first browse here, you just want to log in using your own credentials. That will change on go live. We'll have pass-through authentication enabled, and once you go to the URL, it'll just automatically log you in. And this is the new end user kind of dashboard where you'll be, submitting tickets, looking at any current tickets that you have, and submitting requests. So one thing to note is in the new system we parsed out incidents and requests. So we had kind of two different categories that we defined. Incidents being some sort of interruption in service, like something isn't working, and requests being like I need something. So if your computer's on fire, that would be an incident. But if you need to borrow a laptop, or if you need to submit a front request, or you need some software installed on your computer, it's not really an incident. It's more just a request from IT. So kind of reporting down the line, it'll give us some more granular look into like what the end users are needing from us. Also, so on this page, this button here, we're going to try to clean this up and make it a bit more obvious. But this square is kind of like a tile. If any of you guys are familiar with Windows 10, and it's just a button to submit a new ticket, and we'll do that shortly. This is an activity field of your current tickets. We're also going to be working on making each ticket a little bit more obvious. There isn't a separation, but it's a little tougher to clean that up than we thought. So you might see this change over the next couple weeks while we're doing testing. There's also a gadget for knowledge articles. So we're going to start, publishing, knowledge articles so that you guys can, kind of participate more in a self-service kind of aspect. So if there's information that you want to know, and the more, articles get read and linked to, they'll start to trickle up into this top knowledge articles field for you guys to look at. So let's open up a new ticket. Just click this button. So you'll see it's really dumbed down and simple. We don't ask for a lot for you guys in the current platform. There's a whole bunch of windows and everything like that. If you want to log in, here's just fill out a summary of your request. Actually, here we'll make it better.
I hope someone would call 911 and not put in a service request, but here now.
Don't you know we can help with everything. So yeah, just a summary and a quick description of details of what your ticket is. This field is all HTML enabled, so you can copy and paste a screenshot in here. You can put links, if you want to whatever you like, and you can do some basic formatting. But the most important thing is you can just paste screenshots right into the ticket. And then if you want to change the priority, there's a drop-down menu here where you can select if it's urgent or not. it's going to default, every ticket you submit is going to default to normal unless you change it by yourself. So we'll hit save.
I think putting the screenshot in there is like huge, because that's half the reason why like people just email and then like CC that like IT thing is because they want to send the screenshot. But I think that's
putting screenshots in Service Desk is like a pain. It's all Java enabled. All right. So from here, just the actions that you guys can take on tickets are fairly limited. So here's just a summary of your ticket. This add CC recipient. This is if you want to copy somebody else on the ticket. So let's say you want to, you want your manager to have eyes on this ticket. You can throw them in here as a CC recipient, and they'll get whatever communications you get as the end user. They'll also receive. So they'll receive, replies from whatever analyst has your ticket. There is a drop-down menu where you can kind of select, different employees. You start just typing in a name, and it will populate. Right now, the copy rules aren't working, so the name and email address doesn't automatically populate. But that's going to be, we'll have to figure something out to get that fixed down the line. But you can enter in like any email address you'd like. So, Kevin from Renner Brown's on the line, so I'll just use his email address. But let's say you wanted to include maybe somebody outside the organization or something like that. You can just type in, any email address. Hit save. And it'll add a CC receipt. Oh, yeah. Go back to things. So you can see the incident pops up in this activity feed, and we have some different icons here that kind of indicate like what the status of your ticket's in. So we have a new status that we haven't had before called triage. So we've been paying attention more as to how long a ticket gets looked at once it gets submitted. So we have some service level agreements on when we need to triage a ticket as it comes in. Basically what that means is an analyst needs to look at it, acknowledge it, and assign it some sort of category. So if it's in that state, there's this little guy with a head and a gear. And then if the ticket's in progress, it's working. So you can add notes to a ticket. So if somebody isn't getting back to you, you can come in here and add a note and just throw in, why isn't anyone helping me? And then once you add the note, an email will automatically get fired off to the analyst. And when you look at the ticket, it will show up in the feed in the bottom of the ticket. So now this is a ticket that we were testing, so there's lots of notes in here.
Where does it show who the analyst is assigned to the ticket?
On the end user side, it doesn't actually. So I can fix that.
Yeah, that might be helpful.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be
Instead of calling for a ticket to say, who's working on my ticket?
Yeah. Overlooked by me. Or that part was overlooked by me. It's actually on a certain thing. All right. Go through here. And then I just also, like when we're talking about notes, also wanted to just explain that, you can also open up tickets in the same, by sending emails to itsupport.nupc.com. For the duration of testing, the email address has changed. It's dev LD service desk. But we'll be sending out an email to everybody like after this meeting, kind of with links to log in, and some information kind of recapping what we go over today. But you can open up a ticket by sending an email, to IT support. You can reply to those emails to, communicate with whoever your analyst is. And then one thing that we changed in the new platform is when you get some sort of reply from an analyst, it's not going to come through as the system anymore. It comes through with the display name as the analyst that's assigned to your ticket. So if we go, let me log out. Yeah. So here's a note that was added by me. So you can see that the display name is actually my name, even though the return address is the system address. But you can see that the email is going to come through as if it came from me, not from like, IT support. So hopefully that will kind of prevent some of these ticket communications from getting lost in your inbox. All right.
Does it work the same way if the user gets that and they reply? Does it put in a...
So if the user replies to the ticket, it goes to the analyst with the system as the display name. It's just just the communication is going to the end users are like personalized with whoever created the communication, but all the communication going like to the person who owns the ticket is from the system. But we can
capture it in the history, comment history.
Exactly. Yep. The analyst dashboard, which we'll get into in a little bit, looks a lot different than this. There's a lot more to it. The next thing I want to cover is the request catalog. So we have like all these different requests that you can submit, borrow, commit. If you need access to something, if you need a file restored, meeting requests, new hardware, print job requests, shipping requests, software installation supplies. And we can, populate this out with whatever requests kind of develop. If people want some other request, we can always kind of add it into this catalog. Each one of these has its own, template that has specific fields that we require. New hire. So new hire request, there is one in there, but it's restricted to human resources. Yeah, we had an issue with some people submitting like new employee requests, and then there was some confusion. So we're going to restrict we're going to create like an employee change or like a human resources dashboard that has like flex work program tickets, new employee tickets, office move tickets, but those will only be visible to people in HR.
Got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right. So requests are worked a little bit differently than incidents. You'll see a lot less. You'll see a lot less actions on a request. One thing. Well, actually, we can cover that when we get to the analyst side. But if an end user needs to submit a ticket, you need to borrow a laptop. Just be like, I need a laptop. I'm going to get rid of this category field, so we'll ignore that. You need a laptop. You're traveling domestically. I'm going to pick it up on this day, and you're going to return it this day. And you can throw a description if you like, and hit save, and then the ticket's in, and it's open. So that's the request catalog. It's pretty straightforward. Like I said, the end user portal is really dumbed down. We want to expand on this eventually, and probably have a link where that has available software that you can download, like if you need a Java update or something, rather than putting in a ticket. You can just come here, or if you need like Morningstar Direct on your computer, or you can throw in a software installation request. And then, maybe in your self-service portal, a link to install Morningstar Direct will just pop up after you put in the software installation request. So we'll kind of be expanding on the functionality, but for now, being able to get you guys to just throw in tickets and us being able to respond in the same way that we do now is kind of where we're at for Go Live.
Well, the print jobs work the same, like they'll go directly to Gary. So.
Oh yeah, actually that was one thing I forgot to cover, was the print production portal. So people that do deal with print production will have this print production, portal here, like a tablet, where you can kind of see, a running list of open print requests, and then also, a chart of like who has print requests open. So if you guys need to cover for one another, you can kind of see like, and this you can drill into these. So if you select, here, you can see like all the print requests that Fedra has open. This will populate as more people put print requests in, and then from here you can go in and kind of see the status of it or what have you. And we can expand on this. Whatever information you guys would like to see, we can. It's pretty powerful in what we can do. So if there's some more information that you want to see or whatever, we can kind of customize this to how you like. And then when just this kind of same button to log your print request, you click here. and it has all the fields that you guys are used to when.
I'm taking a look at that right now, Chris, because obviously we're showing the wrong window right there. I'll have it straight out for you in a second.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Kevin.
So one thing to mention is that the print production requests that you guys put in should not be considered live requests. You're still going to use the old service desk platform to send your print requests to Gary, but for testing purposes, we would ask that you put one or two of those same requests into here, and Gary will close them out as they're completed, just like he does today. But really, the production platform, the older version of Service Desk, is still considered the primary way of putting in print requests.
Yeah.
So just like duplicate, like when I have a print job to send, I'm just like whatever I put in there, just like put it on the other one.
Yep. Exactly. And we'll be working. I'm going to be working with Gary over the next couple of days because his role and kind of what he'll see in the service desk is kind of like an outlier. So we're going to be working on like a good way for him to kind of manage the print production requests and stuff like that, and try to get that really nailed down before. I mean, that aspect of it might not be ready for go live, depending on how comfortable you guys are with the new platform, because we don't want print requests to be interrupted at all.
Yeah.
But if so we're going to meet a couple times before go live to get some feedback from you guys.
Chris, if you just want to pull that up again, you should see the correct window now.
Oh, okay.
You may need to exit out and go back in just so it clears out the cache.
When would you like us to finish testing?
Actually, I think our last meeting, Ali, was scheduled for the 27th. So the 27th would be a good time to finish testing. But really, the requirement is just probably like before go live, which is on the 30th.
The jobs by user, is that just the tickets that are still open?
Yeah, that's just in the print production portal. Yeah, these are just open requests. Yep. There we go.
Okay.
So we have one thing we added was the print job title.
That's huge.
Yeah, so you can put
Like
in.
you like the numbers, so I'm like, I have no idea which of the 10 print jobs I just sent in.
So the ticket ID and the case number will still be in all the email communication, but we'll also have this print job title, so you can kind of label it whatever you want. And then one thing that's different, and we did this for the new employee request too, is rather than having one big text box for you guys to fill out like these different requirements, each requirement is its own field, so we can really enforce the information that Gary needs to be able to finish a print job, and then also maybe down the road, since each attribute is itemized, is sectioned out, we can maybe automate some things with that information, because then we can just query it pretty easily. And then same deal, with in the additional details, you can throw a link to the document, or documents on the L drive, and you can also attach files here.
How big is the file size that you can attach?
The file limit right now is 10 meg. Kevin, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought it was 10 meg.
Correct. So right now, it's 10 megs that you can attach through the portal. Through email, it is 4 megs. The email size, we can't do anything. It's just the functionality of the email handler. We can't go above that. For the size here, we could raise it to, theoretically, whatever you want it to. That data is stored in our database, though, so we, want to kind of limit database growth so we don't have performance issues, so you guys don't have to have all this extra database space that you don't need. So generally the recommendation is if you're going to put something very big in there, rather than attach it to the ticket, you're better off attaching a link to whatever you're trying to put in there.
All right.
So kind of the same limitation with attachments as the current platform.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And just to recap, right after this meeting, you'll probably get an email from either myself or Allie with just an attachment with the testing scenarios we'd like you guys to complete. Fedra and Taylor and Sunny, you guys will have like one extra step that has to do with print production. And just some information recapping. And that's kind of it for the end user side. Do you guys have any questions at all?
So what are they doing for testing? Are they just putting in?
Yeah, so for our testing scenarios, I'll have a spreadsheet sent to you guys shortly about but it's just a few steps that I wanted you guys to perform. Just opening a ticket, adding a note to a ticket, and opening a request, and just replying to one of the emails that you guys receive from the system. Like when you open a ticket, you'll get an email that says like, you know, a new case has been generated. It'll give you the case number and a bunch of information, and we just want you to reply to that, and you know, so that way we can test that the communication and everything, all the communication is working.